Greetings, listeners. Welcome to Consulting Between Friends. I'm your host, Michael Holmes Jr. The last episode, I talked about Hurricane Ida and the substantial destruction of the people of the Gulf Coast. This episode will be a continuation on the topic, but we will focus on the recovery effort that is going on to assist the people of the Gulf Coast. So, the topic will be how the people are recovering from Hurricane Ida and still have a positive mindset. The one way people are recovering is by a distribution drive by organizations and community groups. The Temple of Praise Ministries created a partnership with the Jeremiah Group, Resilient Force, and other organizations to distribute items that were needed to the affected people in the community. We will return after a message from our sponsor. Everyone is always planning things, and advertising is needed to make it happen. So, if it's personal or business, let Pinpoint Designs and Images solve that problem. With Pinpoint Designs and Images LLC, you will receive quality work and professional service at a great price. The service that is offered: flyers, business cards, programs, invitations, photo books, ad booklets, and much more. Michael Holmes Jr., owner/principal designer of Pinpoint Designs and Images LLC, contact me by email or social media. Email address is pinpointdesignsandImages@gmail.com, and Instagram Pinpoint Designs, and Facebook Pinpoint Designs and Images. We are back early Saturday morning in Harvey, Louisiana on October 2nd, 2021. A distribution drive was held at Temple of Praise Ministries. This distribution drive is for anyone who was affected by Hurricane Ida in New Orleans, Louisiana. The distribution drive started at 11 a.m. Lots of organizations and community groups and public officials participated in this drive. Some of the organizations that participated are the Jeremiah Group, Jefferson Federation of Teachers, Resilient Force, and Councilman Byron Lee, which is a public official who gave out supplies that was needed for the distribution. The members of Temple of Praise Ministries participated in the distribution as well. Here are some of the items people was looking for at the distribution: cleaning supplies, baby items, water, bleach, hygiene products, masks, hand sanitizer, non-perishable foods, a backpack for school, and school supplies, and anything else that was good to have to get their life back to normal after Hurricane Ida. One other thing that happened different at this distribution drive was the Jeremiah Group put together a survey to give the people to find out what other concerns that was on their mind after dealing with Hurricane Ida. The name of the survey was called Road to Recovery Community Survey. What a catchy name for this survey. Here are some of the questions that was asked on the survey. What are your top 2 concerns post-Hurricane Ida? What are your 2 basic needs to recovery? This was just some questions that we just wanted to get information from people that was affected by Hurricane Ida. After a short break, we will return. We are back. Next, you will hear a recording that I did while the distribution was going on. There's some background noise that you will hear. I wanted to give you a glimpse of how people was working together while distributing the items that people needed at the distribution. It was two. I just gave it $2. Oh, it's
Backpack, 3 backpacks. Yeah, she good. One backpack.
Pass that to her. Thank you. Yeah, I like doing all that.
Oh, she need baby diapers, newborn.
Okay.
She need baby. Give it to them up there. Give it to them up there. See when you get to the diapers. Everything. Woo!
Good morning. You're welcome.
You know what?
Yes.
I would give her. She got on the N95. I would give her N95. I know baby, please give it to them. But some people don't wear them. I like the N95.
You want me to give that to her? I didn't even see that. I just was
you just passed it out. You doing the right thing. I just pay attention. Next
is the interview with Pastor Nelson Dexter Jr. with Temple of Praise Ministries. My guest for today is Pastor Nelson Dexter of Temple of Praise Ministries. Today at Temple of Praise, they had a distribution drive. So you're about to hear his side of the story for today's event.
Well, Mike, today was exciting. It was overwhelming. It was really, really exciting. And the reason why I say that is because we have connected with so many partners to make this happen. We started with a partner in Georgia, the Effingham Concerned Citizens, along with surrounding communities from Georgia. And they sent down a truckload of supplies, PPE stuff, masks. They sent down food, clothing. They sent down a whole lot of stuff to really bless the people in the area that had been impacted by Hurricane Ida. And so just being able to do that would have been enough, but it didn't stop there. We connected with the Jeremiah group, who was phenomenal, who actually facilitated getting the teachers union to help us out and the Federal Jefferson Federation of Teachers to give away school supplies and all of that kind of stuff. So, if I list every partner right now, this show would be too long. But the things that happened today, it was phenomenal. We just wanted to bless people. And it looks like we blessed a bunch of people. The count that I'm hearing is about 300 calls came through. So that was a lot.
Yes, that was a lot. Since you mentioned about how the drive was today, what time did y'all started prepping for today?
For today,
yes.
Well, the prep for today started last Thursday, man. So the trucks came in last Thursday, and after we received all of the product and the supplies, and we stored them last night. We had a team of people came in at 3 o'clock, and they worked till about, I want to say till about 8:30, 9 o'clock, preparing things, putting boxes together so we can actually put those individual boxes in people's trunks to keep them safe and keep ourselves safe or keep the workers safe. So it started last night. On this morning, we was here for about 7:30, 8 o'clock, getting ready for distribution for 11. And so, my staff, the volunteers from other organizations, they did a bang up job.
Well, since you mentioned some of the organizations, like the people in the church, basically, do you mind listing some of them that participated?
Okay. So we had the Jeremiah group. That's our lead partner. Our lead partner was Jeremiah group. They really are great partners, especially for community work. And just to talk about some of what they did. They're organizers of the community, and they help the community to really engage politicians and the political arena to help those people through the issues that they have. And so them partnering with us and getting surveys of how people was feeling about what they're going through and what they needed to be helped with was really a blessing. Then we had the Jefferson, like I said, the Jefferson Federation of Teachers. They came in, gave away a lot of school supplies. They was here. We had Resilient. We had Resilient Force. They was here. They was giving away, N95 masks. They also had hand wipes and all of that kind of stuff. And then we had the council people. We had Councilman Byron Lee. They sent over pallets of water and bleach and stuff like that, and rat and roach spray. Most people don't get that in a giveaway. Yeah. But in our area, with some of the challenges that we're having right now, people need that because the infestation of roaches and rats and all of that kind of stuff, because the trash is not being picked up properly. Mm-hmm. All of those things were really needed. And so there's a lot of people that made this happen.
Well, I like how you gave it a good aspect of how it basically was put together. And another thing I was kind of also thinking about, since there are a lot of people in the church who participated today, what was the teaching moment you expect the church to have after participating in the distribution?
I really want them to, well, there's several Christian principles that I want them to pull away from this. One of the things that Jesus said, he says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Mm-hmm. And sometimes your neighbor, that word neighbor, sometimes we minimize it and think it's the person next door. But when we look in scripture, neighbor is more than the person next door. It's the person down the street. It's the person in your parish. It's it's a lot of different people. And so mm-hmm. I hope that they understand that helping people, helping your neighbor is what we're responsible to do and what God is counting on us to do. Now that's the first thing. And then the other thing is that I hope they pull away from this is that being on one end of the receiving coin, mm-hmm. It defines the whole notion of being blessed, right? And so when you're standing at the car putting stuff into the car, mm-hmm. the Bible says that blessed is he that can give, right? Not he that receives. Uh-huh. And so it's not that the people that was receiving wasn't blessed, but the Bible puts more emphasis on the people that's actually doing the blessing. So I hope they understand that they were blessed just as much as the people that was receiving the supplies.
Well, since I was out here today with the Jeremiah group, helping along with the distribution, I see the members of your church. I do believe that they learned something from today, and I can tell they was enjoying participating and helping others out today.
Great. Yeah, I think that they did too. And I'm looking forward to them saying, Pastor, when we're gonna do the next one. We're gonna pump the brakes on it for right now and give us some breather. But I believe everybody enjoyed themselves.
Now, I know we basically talked about how it was, but I'm going to take a step back.
Okay.
Like the process basically.
Okay.
What team work was created to have the distribution?
Okay. Here at the Temple of Praise, I have a group of people that initiates anything that we're doing in the church, distributions, annual days, renovating the church, and all of this kind of stuff. And that team name is the Destiny Builders, right?
Mhm.
And so that team is the team that we sit down, we organize, we have meetings, we talk about, the different aspects of what we're trying to accomplish. So in other words, I give them the vision and they help me flesh the vision out, right? And so
Okay.
we meet around like this particular event that we had. We had several meetings on the aspects of advertisement and volunteerism and the supply organization and how we can contact the members and make sure that they knew what was actually about to happen and getting them involved. And so they're the team. That's my team that I count on, and they're phenomenal people. Phenomenal people.
Well, I like how you just basically explained how it was a team effort and with the church. Well, since you mentioned that, do you mind going ahead and explain some of the supplies that was given today?
Okay. We started out with a lot of water. We gave away a lot of water today, and we also gave away cleaning supplies because a lot of people are suffering with having their homes damaged by the hurricane, and now they're exposed to the elements. They got mold and all that kind of. So we gave away a lot of bleach, and we had food products. We had baby products, baby items. We had the teachers gave away a lot of school supplies for those children because one of the things that Hurricane Ida did was it put on hold a lot of things that people had planned, and what was planned was a school supply distribution, and that couldn't happen because of the storm.
Correct.
So it was a great opportunity with us doing this event and having the Teachers Federation come in and be able to give away those supplies. So we had a bunch of stuff. It was like, the PPE stuff was phenomenal. N95 masks, hand wipes. It was just so much and so overwhelming. It was really phenomenal.
Well, what I can tell today, since I was participating, it was well organized. Y'all had a tent that was set up. Basically, all the cars just pull up to there, and you just basically put the items in their trunk or in their car door. And another thing what I also noticed was that y'all were trying to figure out what people actually needed for it wouldn't be taking so long during the process of giving it out. I noticed they had like a sticky note.
Yeah, the team came up with that, man. They came up with that. And they actually used those post-it notes because here's one of the things that I really did not want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to have if a car came and they had two families in the car, right? And we tell them, okay, you can't have but one box. Well, some people are challenged with their transportation and they just need to get a ride.
Yes.
And so what the team was doing is if they had three families represented, two families represented, they put a 3 or 2 or 1 on a sticky note. So when they got to the distribution area, then they knew how many boxes or how many cases of water need to put in the car. So the organization was really great, and the team did that. Man, they just phenomenal people. They wanted to try and think through everything because some of the supplies that we got, and I know a lot of people. You start talking about it, but adult underwear. Mm-hmm. When I say underwear, I'm talking about diapers and stuff like that. And so you got to be sensitive to people's needs,
correct,
and be able to do it in a way that it doesn't make them feel uncomfortable. And I think the team came up with a way to actually get that done, and it was well received. And I, like I said, my team, I got a phenomenal team.
So how were some of the items collected for the distribution?
Okay, so the initial items, I'll say like this. One of my members, they put me in contact with the pastor. Pastor in Georgia, Pastor Delmon's White, right? they wanted to be a blessing to this area, to New Orleans. They knew how hard we got hit and that sort of thing, and they wanted to really be a blessing to the people in this area. Well, one of my members happened to be friends with his niece, and they correspond. And he asked his niece, do they have a church in New Orleans that we can connect with to be able to distribute stuff? And so that connection was established. And then all of the stuff that they could come up with in their community. So their community came up with the food products, right? The food products, the bleach, anything that they thought that would be a blessing to the people in this area who had been affected by Ida. That's what they packed up, and they sent those big truckloads down here to us.
Yes.
But then on this end, the partnerships that was established with the councilman's office, Councilman Byron Lee, they send over, pallets of water. They send over the Raid spray and mouse traps, and they sent over a whole lot of things that really was able to help people get past this devastation that we are experiencing. And then other organizations, they put in, Resilient Force, they came in and they did some things also. So a lot of this stuff, it was just a partner effort. But my main partner was the community in Georgia sending down that big truckload of stuff.
Well, since you mentioned the Georgia, I'm glad that they wanted to partner up and help the people of New Orleans that was affected by Hurricane Ida, and that it was a church effort to help everything get out to the community. Because really, that is really important, because just like you in church, they always tell you to help others.
That's right. We teach our members to do it, but if we never put them in a position and give them an opportunity to do it, they'll never really experience it or know how to do it. You know what I mean? And so doing it as a congregation and on a larger scale, I believe it really touches their heart and helps them to understand what Christ talks about, loving others, being somebody that's concerned in loving others.
Well, I also noticed, since I was a part of it as well today with the Jeremiah group, I noticed that y'all have a media team, and they were taking pictures and doing a live stream. So how you think that turned out today?
Well, there's an old saying, the proof is going to be in the pudding. Now, my video team, my media team are phenomenal people. So I know they're going to have a great, they know what to shoot. They know what kind of shots to get, what kind of video to get. And when we went live, like we went live several times, they know how to do that. And so I entrust them to actually make things happen. And so what they're doing is they're going to put together a montage of videos and photos and make a picture, make a video to actually post that online, so people will get a chance to see, when the truck came in, and they'll be able to see the organizing and the distribution and all that. They'll be able to see all that amazing stuff. They'll be able to see all of that. So they should have it ready pretty soon.
Well, that was really good. Another thing what I also noticed was today they had local media. In other words, the news people came out.
Yeah, Channel 6 and some media teams from the councilman's office, they came out and interviewing us and trying to get a feel for what the event was all about and how we was positioning ourselves to really help people. And so I think that was a blessing, because you got to get the word out.
Yes, you do got to get the word out.
When you're doing things, I know a lot of people like to be on the back. Like, that's the kind of person I am. I don't like to be out front. But people need to know that people are still being blessed, even though we had these challenges in our area. They need to know that there are people that are concerned about others and not just concerned about themselves. So that's why I'm glad that those news stations came out. I'm glad that everybody did what they did, and I hope that people can see that even if you do something on a small scale, Because with the devastation that we had, really, even if we had 300 cars or more,
Mm-hmm.
it's still on a small scale based on how many people have been affected.
Correct.
Right. And so if you do your small part, that goes into the collective for all of the other churches and organizations that's doing their thing.
Yes.
Then that becomes extremely important because we're all collectively working together to make something happen and impact people's lives.
And since you also mentioned about the affected, I know maybe some of your members, just like me with the Jeremiah group, myself, I was affected by the storm, damage in the house. And I bet some of your members had damage in their houses and stuff. But the difference of it is, even though we had this situation, we knew we also had to help others as well.
Right. A lot of the people that you saw out there, man, if you saw the pictures that they sent me of the damage that they experienced in the day, they was out there helping out, with the blue roofs or at the house, and they was out there helping out. And I think that, like you say, even though you're experiencing problems, you still should help others.
Yes. And I feel the same way. That is why I participated today. So when I found out, I'm like, I'm going to do this today.
Good. That's awesome. And look, all the help is needed. I was telling people, they said, Pastor, you might have too many volunteers, but man, you'll never have too many volunteers. I tell you, if you're going to give me 15 minutes to help us out in this cause, I'll take the 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. I am an equal opportunist. I give everybody opportunity to volunteer to help people out. Mm-hmm. So,
because every little bit counts.
It all counts. It all counts.
Well, I believe for today, this was a complete success. Because for our listeners, to let you know, it was like maybe 5 or 6 blocks worth of cars coming straight to the church to pick up the distribution that was given out today.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And having the police out there detailing, it really helped things out. But we didn't no incidents. We didn't really need them, but they was here. So we didn't have no incidents, nothing like that, which was a blessing.
Yes, everybody was out for a good cause, and everybody know that even when they pulled up. Because when I was passing some items to some people, I heard them say, "Thank you. I'm glad y'all was doing this today. I really needed this. This was very nice of y'all."
Yeah, and that's what blesses us, to know that it's a blessing to them.
Yes.
So that really touches us. Let us know that what you're doing is needed. It wasn't just an effort that was effortless, right?
Yes.
It was an effort that was really needed.
Okay, everyone, that was my interview with Pastor Dexter.
I'm Pastor Nelson Dexter Jr. of the Temple of Praise Ministries. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today, and I hope that it encouraged you to do something for somebody else.
Also, if people are really interested in getting some more information about y'all church, can you tell us how we can contact you?
You can actually contact us by going to, number one, you can go to our website. That's templeofpraise99.org. That's templeofpraise99.org. You can get to us on Facebook. That's Temple 0299, Temple 0299. You can catch us there. Or you can call our church line 504-341-6010. And that's 3 excellent ways that you can get in touch with our ministry.
Thank you once again, Pastor Dexter, for participating in this interview and explaining how the distribution went on at your church.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. In conclusion, this episode, you have learned how different organizations and public officials are working very hard for the people who were affected by Hurricane Ida. The one way they helped the people was have a distribution drive. It takes a lot of hard work to pull off a distribution, but with kind, loving people, anything is possible. So I hope after hearing this episode about the people who was affected by Hurricane Ida, In the future, you might want to participate in a distribution drive near you. After participating at a distribution drive, you will learn how valuable you was to the people at the distribution drive. One last thing, remember to support Black business owners and always help your neighbor as you want to be helped. Thank you for listening to Consulting Between Friends. This podcast is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts, as well other platforms that are available. So like and subscribe. Need to contact us and leave us a comment? You can find us on Instagram at Consulting B Friends. Once again, Consulting B Friends. An email address is consultingbfriends@gmail.com. Once again, consultingbfriends@gmail.com. Consulting Between Friends. Thanks to everyone for making this possible. Your hosts, Michael Holmes Jr. and co-host Shay R. Jones. The producer and content creator, Michael Holmes Jr. Artwork cover, Michael Holmes Jr. Original music, a DJ name / special guest, Pastor Nelson Dexter Jr. of Temple of Praise Ministries. Website, templeofpraise99.org. Content distributor, Power 77 Radio.